Dude, do you ever look up at the sun and think about how this big ball of fire is so far away yet so bright, and even though you wouldn't dare look at it, you can always feel it staring you down unless you are hidden from its gaze? A lot of people in past ages also had this feeling, but these feelings extended into worship and mythology because there were no methods of technological insight into outer space objects. If something was in the sky, illuminating the entire Earth and beaming rays of heat down at you, you'd have no choice but to assume it's a god if there's nothing to prove otherwise. This is why the sun is such a powerful symbol in art and media. Even though we know now it's a burning ball of hydrogen gas and not a sentient entity, it still powers the planet by making plants grow and being the main force behind the water cycle. We wouldn't be able to live our daily lives without it. In fact, the concept of day and night wouldn't even be possible. Hey, what's up? It's Wellboy, and today I want to talk about the sun, like how it's used in the media we all consume in order to portray deeper meanings and connotations that serve the overall story. In order to discuss what an object symbolizes, we have to talk about what it does in real life. The sun is a giant flaming ball of hydrogen gas that was formed by a bunch of space dust coming together and spinning around. The dust cloud compressed itself with so much pressure that it started a chain reaction and ignited into the star we know today. The leftover material from this fusion process coalesced into the planets that make up our solar system. What the sun does for us is provide lots of energy in the form of solar radiation. It's like a giant battery that powers all life on Earth. Without it, we wouldn't have plants, we wouldn't have weather patterns, we couldn't see, and it would be too cold to live. We are able to survive because Earth is located in the Goldilocks zone of the solar system. Think of it like a campfire. If you are too close, you will get burned. And if you are too far away, you won't get any heat. You need to be at the just right amount of distance away to be comfortable. You could say the sun is the most important thing in our lives and literally what keeps the Earth spinning. That is why whenever you see sun motifs in art, or a cinematic shot of a sun bearing down on a story character, these are signals used to convey power, as the sun is the most powerful object in our solar system. When a movie wants to portray a character under stress, they'll usually have them sweating under the summer sun or blinded by the sun's rays. So how can you use the sun to make your art better or project a certain feeling? Well, remember that light can also represent illumination in the spiritual sense regarding a subject's awareness. A brightly lit area with everything visible and nothing hidden can show how a subject has total control over a dominion. A dimly lit house or scary forest absent of the sun can give the impression that the subject and us as the observer don't know what's going to happen next, that we don't have an awareness of our surroundings, or there are unseen forces at play. Sunsets and sunrises can be a period of transition, from the known to the unknown, from the safe to the adventurous. It can mean new life or coming death. The sun on a cavalry's banner can mean they come from a powerful kingdom. The sun always has a role to play, you just need to know what it is. Even its absence will be felt by anyone observing your art. So now, let's look at a few instances of sun symbolism in media, starting with one of the most beloved games of all time, Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, a prominent character named Gwyn has the title Lord of Sunlight. He is the most powerful character in the game before his downfall, and everywhere in Dark Souls you can find sun iconography. There is even a character who is meant to mirror the player character, named Solaire. He is known as the champion of sunlight, and his goal is to capture his very own sun. It is never made clear what this means exactly, but given the fact that he has adorned himself in sunlight imagery, we know that he recognizes the power of the sun and even worships it to some extent, because from him we obtain the emote, Praise the Sun. Eventually, Solaire becomes driven mad by this goal, and mistakes a creature called Sunlight Maggot as the sun he's been chasing, and becomes host to this parasite. From a symbolism perspective, this can be read as having an unobtainable goal and going crazy trying to chase it. The symbolism extends to Gwyn as well, since his reign lasted for hundreds of years, but as his kingdom collapses, he becomes a husk of his former self, trying to maintain the power and control he had in his heyday. The theme of trying to control the power of the sun and going insane is also represented literally in the movie Spider-Man 2 through the work of Dr. Otto Octavius. He created a fusion reactor that mimics the sun's fusion process in order to provide the human race with a new unlimited source of energy. The tools he uses to control the mini solar flares that occur on the mini sun are these mechanical arms with AI intelligence And when a solar flare strikes the computer chip that acted as a protective barrier between the AI intelligence and his brain, he goes crazy and becomes a villain. This is the price for his hubris in thinking he could actually have the power of the sun in the palm of his hand. And this is one of the main conceits of the sun when used in media. The sun is all-powerful and untamable, and it is also unforgiving. If the character is walking through a desert and the sun is burning him, it is merciless in doing so, solely due to the fact that it's an inanimate object. Another aspect of this cruelty is the aforementioned fact that it burns. If the sun lit the world and didn't burn anything, it would be depicted much more benevolently, but also, if its light didn't burn, it wouldn't be strong enough to feed our plants or evaporate the water for our water cycle. That is why the sun must be respected. Like a good surgeon, it has to be cruel to be kind. If you want to create art or media yourself, a good way to portray a powerful character is with sun imagery. And if you want to depict an extremely powerful character or an advanced race, give them the ability to control the sun or harness its power. These attributes of strength are storytelling shortcuts that our brains will pick up on quickly. If you want to create the sense that things are going well or the kingdom is bountiful, give the sun a prominent place in the scene, not just have it as part of the background. If you want to show a desperate situation, an evil layer, or that your character is in a confused state, then hide the sun. Make it foggy outside or nighttime, or have the space your character enters devoid of sunlight. An absence of sunlight can be shorthand for the absence of God or goodness. Anyway, I hope you learned something in this video, and if you want to learn more about myself, you can check out this video where I tell you more about who I am and what this channel was made for.